Beloved, today we turn our hearts to Psalm 45, a psalm unlike many others, for it is not only a song of worship, but also a royal wedding hymn. It is a psalm that celebrates the majesty of the king, the beauty of the bride, an eternal covenant that God establishes through love, faithfulness, and divine purpose. The psalmist begins with overflowing words. My heart is indeed in a good matter. I speak of the things which I have made touching the king. My tongue is the pen of a ready writer. This is not ordinary speech. It is the language of praise, the language of prophecy, the language of eternal truth. The psalmist sees beyond the earthly king of Israel and gazes prophetically toward the King of Kings, the Messiah himself. We are shown a king clothed not merely in royal garments, but in truth, humility, and righteousness. The psalm says, Thou art fairer than the children of men. Grace is poured into thy lips. This points us to Christ, the Word made flesh, full of grace and truth, whose words bring life and salvation. His majesty is not rooted in crowns of gold or armies of men, but in the scepter of justice that he wields forever. But the psalm does not stop with the king. It turns to the bride. So shall the king greatly desire thy beauty, for he is thy Lord, and worship thou him. This is where the psalm becomes a picture of the church, the bride of Christ, adorned in garments of glory, called to leave behind the house of her fathers, and cleave unto her king. It is a call to transformation, a call to holiness, a call to become radiant not with earthly splendor, but with the beauty of surrender and devotion. Here lies the mystery. The king longs for his bride, and the bride finds her identity in the presence of the king. Just as the ancient wedding procession was filled with music, fragrance, and joy, so too is our journey of faith meant to be a preparation for the eternal wedding feast of the Lamb. And notice how the psalm closes. I will make thy name to be remembered in all generations. Therefore shall the people praise thee forever and ever. This is no ordinary marriage. It is eternal. The psalm begins with words overflowing from the heart and ends with worship flowing from all generations. It reminds us that when we walk in covenant with God, our story does not end in death. It continues in glory. Beloved, Psalm 45 is not simply about a king and queen from long ago. It is about Christ and his church. It is about you and me being invited into a covenant of eternal love. It is about laying down our pride, our past, our fears, and becoming clothed in the garments of salvation. So today, let us ask ourselves, are we living as a bride prepared, pure, and expectant for her king? Are we adorning ourselves not with worldly ornaments, but with righteousness, humility, and devotion? Are our lips, like the psalmist's, overflowing with praise for the one whose throne is forever? Let us prepare our hearts, for the bridegroom comes. The king is in his glory, and he calls us to his side. Let our lives, our worship, and our love be a reflection of the eternal marriage song of Psalm 45. Amen. If you've enjoyed today's content, be sure to like and subscribe. Take care and God bless.